We are going to start the webinar in exactly 2 minutes. Please bear with us. Okay. Hello, well, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rohan. I'm a part of ClearTax sales team, GST sales team. I welcome you all to the webinar. The flow of the webinar will be as follows. First, I'm going to show you the demo of the software for the first 35 minutes. All right. You have a chat box on the right side of your screen. Please put in your questions there. At the end of the webinar, we'll answer all the questions. All right. We are going to start the webinar in another 1 minute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll start the webinar right now. All right, as you can see on my screen, you have to go to gst.cleartax.in to sign up to the software. And you get this screen in front of you. You have to please put in your email ID and password. So I'll just create a test email ID. I'm going to create a password. As you can see on my screen, there are 3 options available to you for CS tax practitioners with multiple clients. Second option is for businesses, and third is for people who just want to check the software. So others, right? So I'll select CS tax practitioners. Right? You have to give in a practice name. I'll just give my name for now. Right? I put in my practice name, my name, and my mobile number. All the OTPs for returns filing will come on this number. I say complete now. As you can see, this is the home screen of the software. Start now would take you to your client dashboard, and invite now would help you invite more clients. Right? We're going to talk about the invite now option at the end of the software. For now, we'll say start now. I click on start now. As you can see, there's a dashboard here, and there's an option called add a client. Right? And the month of return is July. You can select the month of return also. Okay, so I'm going to just add a test client for now. Right, I've added a PAN number, a GSTN number, and the display name automatically comes based on the state code here. Right, I save this. As you can see, my business is created here with a GSTN number. You can add another GSTN number by clicking on this button here, add new branch. Click here, select, put in the GSTN number, and say continue. Right, as you can see, there are 2 GSTNs available here. Right, okay. So before starting going in and working on a sales invoice, purchase invoice on GST returns, there are 3 things you have to do initially. First is you have to create a contact master, which is here called import contact master. Second thing, you have to create your items or services which you sell. That is import item master, and you have to give a invoice sequence number, put in your terms and conditions and all the things that have to come in the invoice. All right. First, we will start with a contact master. To do that, you have to click on import contact master. On the left side of your screen, which is highlighted, you have to click on import contact master. All right. Since it's a demo business, I'll be working on a demo business right now. I'll go to settings. I'll create a demo business. To help you understand better, we'll be working on a demo business. So I'll say create demo business. Right. I'll say continue and I'll say play with it here. All right. As you can see, a demo business is created in my client dashboard. So we'll be doing this training on the demo business. So let's import some contacts. All right. As you can see, when you click on import contact master, you can see select business. There's my business and demo business. I'll just select demo business. There's a sample available here for you for your reference. I'll say download sample. I'll just open the sample to show you. Right. As you can see, there's a unique ID, contact type, business name or individual name, GST number, contact person's name, email ID, PAN number, phone number, alternate number, address, city, state, PIN code. These are the fields which we provide in the sample. Right. I'm just going to upload the same sample. As you can see, there was demo data in that sample. I'm just going to put the same thing here. So as you can see, the data has been imported. 5 contacts are imported. All the 5 have been passed. But click on request details for 5 contacts. A message and a mail would go to the contact with a link wherein he can put in his GST number, PAN number, company details and everything that will reflect real time in our software. Right now, let's create an item master. To do that, once you log into the software, would be your dashboard. You have to click on start now. On the left side, there's something called as import item master. You have to click on that. You have to select the business to which you want to import these items. I'll say demo business. I'll say download sample. So I'll just show you the format for the item master. All right, item SKU, item type, it's goods or service. Item HSN SSE code. If it's a goods, you have to put in HSN code. If it's a service, you have to put the SSE code. Item description, item unit, item sale price, item purchase price, discount, item notes. All right. And as you can see, there's already demo data available here. I'll be uploading the same data. I'll just download it again. I'll drop it here. Right. As you can see, 5 items have been imported and 5 have been passed. All right. Now, after creating our contact master and item master, we have to create the format of the invoice. All right. To do that, you have to click on this button here and click on settings. All right. And you have to select the business. If you're saying demo business, you have to click on demo business. On the left side of my screen, you can see something called as invoice settings. All right. You have to click on invoice settings. As you can see in the invoice settings, you can put in the logo here. All right. You can create the invoice number. For the sales invoice, I'll just say for Andhra Pradesh, I'll say AP1. For Tamil Nadu, I'll give it as TN1. Right. I've given a set of sequence numbers for my invoices. From Andhra Pradesh, it will start from AP1 for Tamil Nadu. Like that for every document type, for purchase invoices, credit notes, debit notes, advance receipts, bill of supply, delivery charge, export invoice. You can create your own custom invoicing sequence. Right. When we scroll down, we also see the terms and conditions option. You can put in your own terms and standard terms and conditions for a respective GST. So I'll select this GST. I'm going to select sales invoice. For what invoice? I'll say test terms and conditions. Right. I'm going to save terms. Right. This has been saved. You can also add custom fields, for example, mode of transport or the way it is shipped or the driver details and all that. We can select a GST here. You have to select sales invoice and we give you 5 custom fields. You can name any of the fields, whatever you want. I'll just give transport details for now. All right. I'm going to save custom fields. You can also add bank details here. You have to just select the GST number. All right, and select account details, and you have to mention where it should show. It should show in sales invoice or bill of supply. All right. Once you save all this, an invoice format would be done. So ladies and gentlemen, let's now go to returns filing and creating purchase and sales invoice. To do that, you have to go to the demo business, respective business, and say work on this. Click on work on this. You can see three options in front of my screen. First is sales invoice, second is a purchase invoice, and third is GST returns. So we'll start with the sales invoice. I'll say work on sales invoice by clicking on the green button here, right? Since it's a demo business, there's already demo data available in the software. All right, you can see, as you can see the format, there's an invoice ID, there's a customer number, when was this created, what is the due date for this, what is the total amount, and what is the status. All right, is it an export invoice or a normal invoice? At the top, you can see the summary of all the invoices of their transactions. Total transactions, total SGST you have paid, total CGST you have paid, total IGST in these invoices, excess if any, and total value. All right. You have to go to quick actions on the top, the blue button. Quick actions will be available on each and every page, which will help you jump from purchase to sales, or you can jump from a document type to another document type. So as you can see under sales and a create sales document, you can say create sales invoice, create debit notes, create advance receipts, create delivery challans, create bill of supply, create export invoices. Right? Credit debit notes comes under your for purchase and sales returns. Advance receipt is when you get a advance from a client. All right, you create an advance receipt. Whenever you raise a sales invoice against that client, it will automatically subtract the amount in the advance receipt. All right, delivery challan is on the transportation of goods without an issue of invoice. Bill of supply is for people who are under composition scheme, or people who are dealing with exempt goods under GST. And export invoices is when you're exporting the product out of India, or when you're dealing with a individual or a company located inside an special economic zone or an SEC. Right. So let's create a sales invoice for now. I'll say create sales invoice. Right. I went to quick actions. I selected sales, I selected create sales document, and I said create sales invoice. That's how I landed on the screen. Right. As you can see, I've already, the sequence set before in the invoice under settings has already come here. Right. The invoice date is taking today's date. Reference number is the PO number, and you can set a due date. I'll just say 16th. All right. Customer name we had pulled in the contact master. I'll just mention that. All right, we had imported through an Excel field. As you can see, once I mention the name, the GST and the place of supply, billing address and shipping address automatically appear. We can change the billing and shipping address by unchecking the same as billing address check bar. You can just go here and say edit and add the new address. And shipping address and billing address would have different addresses. Right? For now, I'll say same as billing address. I'll select the item description here. So I'll just select a normal item. Let's add a new item. Right? I'll just go here, I'll say laptop or a lamp. I'll just select the HSN code. Right. If you're providing a service, you have to select the item type as services and you have to mention the SAC code. For now, I'm selling the goods, so I'll be telling. Right. You have to mention the SKU code if any. All right. Selling price, I'll say 5,000. Purchase price, if I want to put, I can put. You can also put the unit here, what units you sell in. All right, and you can also mention the discount on this item available. If any item notes, you can put it here. I'll just save this. But I added a new item called lamp, which is a goods with the HSN number 701, quantity. All right, the rate, taxable amount. As you can see, since the demo business is located in Andhra Pradesh, this GSTN is located in Andhra Pradesh, and we are shipping it to a company in Uttar Pradesh. Is calculating IGST of 18%, 900 rupees, and you can see it is a 5,900. You can also manually override the tax percentage by clicking on this one. Right? If you are under reverse charge mechanism, you have to go to advanced settings at the bottom and select reverse charge. Right? As you can see, the reverse charge has automatically appeared here. Invoice total value 6,000, 1,000 plus 5,000. The tax here, total amount, and it is tax under reverse charge as 900 rupees. All right, I'll just take it as a normal invoice. All right, at the bottom, you can add custom fields like added a transport details. I've got transport details here. I can add bank details here. All right, bank name, account number. I can add custom notes, and the terms and conditions which had preset test terms and conditions has appeared here. All right, for now, I'll save this invoice. Right, once I save, This is how it is going to look like. You can cancel this invoice by going to the arrow mark next to the edit button and go and say cancel. Right? We can print this invoice also. I'll just click on print here. It will ask you from which, if you're having multiple branches in under one GST, it is asking you from which branch you're going to ship. For that, you have to put in an address here. So I'll just give a test address, pin code. I'll say state Karnataka, city Bangalore. I'll say save and print. All right, as you can see, my invoice looks something like this. All right, I'm going to zoom in. Your logo would come here. Since I'm working on a demo business, the name is here, the GST IN, the state, the PAN. On the top, you can see the amount, invoice date, invoice number, AP1, which we preset, a reference number, customer name, customer GST IN, billing address, and shipping address. You also see the country of supply, place of supply, and due date. At the bottom of the page, you'll find the demo business signature, terms and conditions which we put, bank details, custom fields if we input will come here, and the branch address would come here. Right? I'm just going to cancel this for now. I'll say back. This is how we create a sales invoice. All right. You can also see the sales invoice summary and the sales invoice summary. Our invoice which we just created is here. It is under normal. Right? Like that, we can create a credit debit note also. You have to go here. You have to click on if it's a credit note or a debit note. All right. Put in the sequence. You have to preset a sequence, or you can create custom sequences whenever you create one. You have to raise it against an invoice ID, which will be validated in the invoice. All right. Customer name, it will automatically fetch from the invoice ID. You have to mention the item description, and everything else will be auto populated, and you have to save this credit debit note. All right. With respect to advance receipts, you have to select the advance receipt sequence number. All right. You have to select a customer name. All right. I'll say same as shipping or billing address. I have to select the item here. Right, and I put in the advance receipt note here, and I save this. Whenever we raise an invoice against this customer, it will automatically minus the amount from the advance receipt. Right. Now let's show you how to create a delivery challan. For that, you have to go to quick actions, sales document, and say create delivery challan. All right. You have to give a challan number, a challan date, a reference number. What type of challan is it? Is it job work challan, supply of liquid gas, supply of approval, or others? All right. I'm going to select job work. I'm going to select a consignee. All right. And I'm going to put the item description here. And the grand total will automatically, everything else will auto-populate. The same way, we create a bill of supply. Bill of supply is for people who are under composition scheme and are dealing with goods exempt under GST. All right. You have to set a sequence for a bill of supply here. Bill date, reference, due date, customer name. I'll just select a customer name. I'll just say I'm selling a lamp. All right. As you can see, 5,000 rupees was the rate. Total is here, and I save this. You can put in the bank day. I save this bill. So in dealer under composition scheme can use this bill of supply, and this is how your composition scheme invoice would look like. Right? You can also cancel this invoice by clicking on the cancel button here, and you can print this. All right. The last is export invoices. Export invoices is when you're dealing with an SEZ, a company located in an SEZ or outside India or under an EOU. Right? You have to go give an invoice number to this. Export type, a deemed, export under bond or IGST or SEZ. All right. You have to select a due date and the port code, shipping bill date, shipping bill number, reference, customer name. Let me just scroll down. The date, GSTI, the place of supply, the country of supply, the export currency, the conversion rate, and the item. And you're going to mention your bank details, custom notes, terms and conditions, etc. here. Right. This is how we create a sales invoice. All right. A credit debit note, advance receipt, delivery challan, bill of supply, and export service. All right. So this is with respect to sales invoicing. Right. Purchase invoice is something similar. All right. Let me just go to purchase. There's absolutely no difference in the process of creating an invoice. Just have to mention a serial number. I'll say purchase invoice 1. You select the vendor name. All right. You select the item. All right. And select the price. Purchasing that 5,000, and you save this. If you are doing a reverse charge mechanism, then you have to select reverse charge here, and you save this invoice. Right. This is how a purchase invoice would look like. Under purchase invoice, you can also create vendor credit debit note and add an advance receipt. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're clear with purchase and sales invoicing, and I'll move on to work on GST returns. Right. I'll click on work on GST returns. All right. As you can see, there's a dashboard in front of me. Right. This dashboard is for this particular business, demo business, with this GST and number. On the left side, you can see profile, item master, and contact master. Right. And at in the front middle of the screen, you can see that there's GSTR 3B, all right, GSTR 1 returns filing, and GSTR 2 sales purchase returns filing. Right. On the left side, you can see reports, rule engine, and ledgers. Right. You can import more invoices if one of your clients are using a legacy software or using any other software. You can import more invoices. Let me just show you how to do that. So you can go to import more. All right, there are a lot of templates available, standard templates available in our software itself. You can say standard sales template, CDN means credit debit note template, standard advance receipt template. So I'll just say standard sales template, and I download that sample here. This is how the standard sales template looks like. Right, as you can see, the headings, original invoice, invoice number. This is a template which we give you. All right. So I'll just upload this template itself. Right. As you can see, I've uploaded one invoice, and it says one invoice has failed. Let us see why it has failed. Uh, an error in the invoice would be highlighted in red color by the system. As you can see, this is highlighted in red, and it says the HSN code is invalid. So you need to change the HSN code here and revalidate. That is when the invoice would be passed and it would come into the system. Similarly, you can import purchase invoices also. You have to go import more, download the template, or upload it, right? So let us just go ahead and do GSTR1 filing. As you can see on the dashboard, it says upload to invoices on GSTN. It is pending, due on 5th September. This file GSTR1 option, pending, due on 5th September. All right. You can start GSTR1 filing by clicking on start now. All right. As you can see, there's a segregation already available with headings B2B invoice, B2C invoice amended, B2C invoice large, and B2C invoice small. A B2C invoice large is when you deal with a unregistered vendor or a customer who's not eligible to be registered under GST, all right, in a different state, and the amount should be more than 2.5 lakhs. A B2C invoice small is when you do a transaction within the state, credit debit notes, aggregated non-exempt GST, people who are not registered under GST, and advance receipts. You can individually filter this and view these invoices by clicking on view here, or you can directly go to view my invoices, and all the invoice summary would come here. All right. We give you Excel like filters where you can filter all the invoices based on B2B, B2C large, B2B small, export invoices. There's also a subtype, amended, normal. There's a filter, filing filter, uploaded, not uploaded, filed. Based on customer, you can filter, or based on a GSTIN number, you can filter these invoices. There's also all the credit debit notes you can clearly see here. All the advance receipts you can see here. Aggregate nil non-GST you can see here, and all type summary. the whole summary you can see here with taxable amount, right? And after all this, you can also add a new invoice by this button, and your month of return we are filing is July, right? You can go to upload to GSTN and say upload all these invoices to GSTN. The invoices are uploaded to the GSTN. You can say file GSTR1. So when you by clicking on file GSTR1, the GSTR1 is filed, and at the bottom of the page you can see the HSN and SSC summary, which is a government mandate, right? Let us go back to the dashboard. As you can see, the status has changed. It says uploaded to invoices on GSTN, completed, and completed on what date? GSTR1 filed, completed, and completed on 4th August. Right? The similar way we file GSTR2 also, right? To file GSTR2, you have to click on Start Now. As you can see, there's a segregation of all the invoices: B2B invoice amended, unregistered purchases under reverse charge, advance payments under reverse charge, credit debit notes, aggregated composition scheme, unregistered nil exempted non-GST invoices. Right? You can also click on View My Data to view all the invoices individually. Here also you get Excel kind of filters where you can filter based on invoice type, subtype, based on vendor, based on GSTN number. You can also select credit debit notes here by clicking on this button, advance payments under reverse charge, unregistered exempt non-GST invoices here, and all type summary here. But you still can add a new invoice by clicking on add new invoices here. You can download all the vendor invoices from the GST portal by clicking on download from GSTN. This is your GSTR 2A. Right, as you can see, the invoices have already been downloaded from the GST portal of your client's purchases. Right, there's a transaction here, total IGST, SGST, CGST, cess, and total amount. Right, there's an invoice ID here based on the vendor, GSTN number, the vendor, taxable amount, total tax, and type also here. Right, to view the mismatches, you have to go and click on match and reconcile on the top. So when you click on match and reconcile, you can see that there are few things which is highlighted in orange. These are the invoices which have a mismatch. Right? As you can see, there is highlighted in orange. This is the amount filed by the vendor. All right, and this is the amount filed by your customer. Right? You can select this and say accept vendor values. When you accept vendor values, it will automatically take the values which the vendor has put. If you say keep my values or send to other party, the system would send an SMS and an email to the vendor talking about this invoice and telling what the mismatch is and asking him to correct it. Right? I'll just say keep my values for now. So I'll just close this. As you can see, I've reconciled this and set my values. This is highlighted here. Right? You can do it bulk by selecting all of it here by clicking on this button, and you can select everything and either say accept vendor values, accept my values, or send to third party. Alright. You can also view credit debit notes here also, and subtypes. You can filter based on mismatch type, CGST, SGST, IGST, HSN, and total value. You can individually select based on vendor and based on GSTN number also. Okay. This is how you do mismatch. Identify mismatches between the sales of your vendors and purchases of your clients. Right. The next thing is claim ITC. Right. As you can see, for this customer, total tax is 6912. You have to select a category here. There are 3 categories available: input services, and capital goods. You have to select on which of these 3 categories you would like to claim ITC. So I'll just select capital goods. All right, and I'll select this, and I'll say that on capital goods I'll want 100% ITC. Right, I'll say okay. I apply. So for this, I've availed 100% ITC. As you can see, there's a split up given by the system of how much of CGST, SGST, and IGST is there. Right? You can bulk select the whole thing and select everything is capital goods, percentage is 100%, and apply. So you have claimed ITC on all the available thing. As you can see, there's a split here also. CGST is 2,700, IGST, SGST is 2,700 again, right? And the total tax is 2,400. This is how you claim your ITC. You can save ITC values here by clicking on this button. All right. The last is GSTR2 filing. You have to click on GSTR2 filing and file GSTR2. So all the vendor invoices which match and reconcile would be uploaded here, and say you close. All right. When we go to the dashboard, you can see that the status has changed. Downloaded invoice from GSTN completed, match and reconcile completed, claim ITC completed, and file GST2 completed on the respective dates. The next is about GSTR 3B. So to work on GSTR 3B, you have to click on Start Now. All right. As you can see, there is both purchase and sales invoices you need to upload here. You can click on view sales data and you can view your sales invoices. You can view on purchase data, you can view your purchase invoices. You can claim ITC on your invoices here in the same similar way. And the last is your reviewer GSTR 3B. All right. This is how GSTR 3B needs to be filed. Import can be through our software, or you can Excel import all the data. You can view, once imported, we can view your sales data, you can view your purchase data, you can claim ITC and review GSTR. Right? That is how we do GSTR 3B. All right. There's another option which we provide is called field mapping, wherein your customers might send you data in their own template, not necessarily following the template which is available here. For that, you need to do something called as field mapping, which is a one-time activity. To do that, you have to go to import more option on the top. All right. I'll say highlight, select this option called create a new template. Click on that. So there first you have to upload an Excel field sent by your customer. You have to map the field and save the template. I'll just show you an example. I'll just say I'm importing sales invoice of a particular customer. I'll just select the Excel file. All right. And I'll say create mapping. All right. On the top, you can see are the fields which are there in the Excel sheet which I have uploaded. You have to map these fields with our software fields by clicking on map to, right? And the fields highlighted in star mark here are all mandatory fields. You have to map it mandatorily, otherwise the system would not allow you to import all these invoices. So for now, I'll just show you. For invoice date, I'm going to select invoice date. For invoice number, I'm going to select invoice number. For original invoice date, I'll just select this. I'll say I've saved map fields. All right. As you can see here, you say from the Excel file, invoice date is the name. In clear tax field, you have mapped it to invoice date again. Invoice number, you have mapped it to invoice number. And say when you are okay with this, say looks good and confirm it. You give it a name, client. You give it a client's name or your own customer name. Client one. So it as client one. I save template. All right. A custom template has been saved for GSTR1 invoicing. From the next time, you just have to upload the template and the system would automatically take it. The last is reports. On the left side of your screen, you can see that reports. You can say view all reports. All right. These are the few reports which we give you: financial reports, returns and compliance reports, invoice related reports, vendor customer reports, audit reports, miscellaneous reports. Right. Let's for now just see monthly tax summary. I just click on this. You can download the report in an Excel file. You can download it with respect to a GST, and you can download it with respect to a month also. As you can see, there's a turnover details. All right. Next, tax liability, output tax liability, reverse charge, input tax credit, TDS, TCS, ISD credits, ITC reversal, late filings, interest, All right, this is one of the reports we get. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with the demo. I'm just going to summarize this in the next 3 minutes, what all we did. All right, I'm just going to summarize this and we're going to take questions. All right, we log into the software first. You say click on, okay, the last one is invite now, which I've completely forgot. Invite now is where you click on invite now. You say invite clients more. You put in their data. All right, and once they accept, a link would go to them through an SMS and an email. And once they click on that and log into our software, data would flow real time between you and your client. Your client, whenever he raises purchase or sales invoices, all right, when he uses purchase or sales invoicing, all right, data would come to you real time for returns filing. For a particular client, when you say work on GST returns, if this demo business is one of your clients and he raises purchase or sales data, will automatically come and sit here under GSTR returns. For say all the sales data would come here under invoices, you my invoices, and all the purchase data would come under you purchase invoices. So the data flow between you and your clients and you would be real time. Right, I'm just going to summarize again. What we did was we created a imported contact master, we imported item master, we went to settings, we selected a business, right? We went to invoice settings, we gave an invoice code, we changed the logo, we put terms and conditions here, we added custom fields, we added bank details. All right, we went back, we selected work on this business, demo business, selected work on sales invoice. All right, we selected new sales invoice, we added the serial number, customer name, and item description. Right, and if it's reverse charge, you have to select reverse charge here. If you are under composition scheme, you have to go to quick actions on the top and select bill of supply. We also created a credit debit note and advance receipt delivery challan by going to quick actions. We also created purchase invoices by going to purchases here and say record purchase invoice by quick actions. We also created the credit debit notes of a vendor and added a advance receipt. We also did GST returns by going to work on GST returns. We also imported new invoices. We created field mapping. We uploaded our invoices to GSTR network and filed GSTR1 using start now. We did GSTR purchase returns. We also did GSTR 3B. All right. We also saw a report, and we give you ledgers also summary. Right? Okay. Now we are open to questions. Ladies and gentlemen, please type your questions on the right side of the chat box. We don't have an offline feature as of now. Only the invoicing solution would be offline, and it would come next month.
Okay, please have a look here. First of all, start now, work on this. If you click on the sales invoice, there is many options. Like if you want to create the sales invoice, if you want to create the credit debit note in respect of that sales invoice, there's an advance receipt. Suppose you received the advance from your customer, then you can create the advance receipt from here. Okay. Apart from then, you can create the delivery challan. In the case of job worker, you can create the bill of supply in the case of composite supply or nil rated or exempted goods or services, or you can create the export invoices from our software itself. Okay, Mr. KB Mate, your question is which form filed for return composition dealer? So composition dealer, you have to file GSTR 4, GSTR 4 on quarterly basis. GSTR 4 on quarterly basis. If we talk about in the month of July, the July, August, September, you have to file GSTR 4 on 18th of October. Okay, Mr. Surya, your question is how are we filing this month GSTR 3B? Okay, government give the relaxation for the month of July and August. You have to file, you need not to file GST in September, but you have to file GSTR 3B in the 20th of next month. If we talk about the July, then the pending date is 20th of August. And if we talk about the month of August, then pending date is 20th of September. And Mr. Surya, this feature would be live in within next 4 days in our software, from where you can file GSTR 3B. Okay, Mr. Surya? Okay, Miss Sonia, how to pay GST? When there is a liability to pay tax to the government, we provide you the option at the time of GSTR 3, from where you can make the payment through RTGS, through NFT, or through debit or credit card, which is directly linked to the government side. Okay. Mr. Rao, your question is where and how to enter sales made to unregistered dealer in GSTR 1. So like when you create your sales invoice, and there is an option to create sales invoice to those people who are not registered. From normal invoicing, you can enter all the sales made to registered dealer or made to unregistered dealer. There is no other option and no other format for unregistered dealer. Mr. Kailash, I already told you which form filed for return of composite dealer GSTR 4. And that should be filed on quarterly basis. Mr. Babu Rao, your question is where and how to enter sales made to unregistered dealer in the GSTR 1. Where and how to enter sales made to unregistered dealer in GSTR 1. When you create the invoicing, there is no option, there is no another segregation for unregistered dealer. You can enter the data registered dealer and unregistered dealer as well. And you can import your data from, you can export your data from Excel, and you can map the fields with the clear text. Okay, Mr. Shanmunga, your question is please explain service invoices, example restaurant and logging service, just explain. Okay, sir. First of all, you can click here, sales, create sales document, create sales invoice. You have to give any invoice serial number. Click on the customer name. If you have the GST number, please click on that. Otherwise, there is no option, there is no mandatory field to fill GST number. And you want to add the state also, because state is required in this scenario. And save this invoice, save this customer name. Now, at the time of creating item description, like food, first of all, you have to create this item description, which is required, which is mandatory. You have to select goods or services, whether it's a goods or services, because the services I can select service and enter the SSE code for service. Let's say this, and enter the selling price also and save it. You could see here when the data is saved, it's covered here the service, not say not goods. Means this is your service invoice, not your goods invoice. Mr. Shanmugam, your next question is how to adjust advance return. Advance return in return. Advance return in return. So please clear this question. Mr. Surya, your question is, isn't there any option for generating refund voucher? Yes, sir. There is an option for generating refund voucher, but in this time, there is no option for refund voucher. It would be lived on within 2 to 4 days when the GST 3B would be lived. Mr. KB, mate, your question is tax rate for trader, composite dealer. Okay, fine, sir. If you want to take the option of composite dealer and you are the trader, there are three type of scenario. If you are trader, then you have to pay tax at the rate of 2%. If you are manufacturing concern, you have to pay tax at the rate of 1%. And if you are the restaurant, then you have to pay tax at the rate of 5%. This is the rate for the composite dealer. Mr. Paul, your question is how to enter the due amount. So which due amount? There is no option to enter the due amount. Mr. Kailash, your question is, can we take ITC in that? Yes, of course, 100%. Where to enter username and password of GSTR portal for uploading? Sir, ClearTech is already given you. When you buy our software, then we provide you the user ID and password. From access of the user ID and password, you can create, you can add, and you can do your work through our software. Mr. Surya, your question, how about DSC? There is no concept of DSC, sir. There is no need of DSC. You can directly file return through our software. What is the cost of the software, Mr. Khanna? Software cost is rupees 5,000 plus GST. That is 5,900 for per year. But till March, this cost is final. There is no annual renewal charges. Mr. Paul, your question is how to give my bank account details one time. It will be automatic pull all the sales voucher. Yes, sir, 100%. This will be shown in your all invoices, not one particular invoices. Mr. Baburao, your question is when to enter sales amount in the sales invoice. Okay, fine. Please have a look here. Quick action. Suppose I want to create the sales invoice, then sales invoice. I want to create a sales invoice. Enter on sales invoice. From here, You could see here there is the amount of cess. If you deal with the specific item which require the cess, you can enter the cess amount here and amount percentage here. It would be automatically covered in amount itself. If we take an example of tobacco, their cess would be 72%. Okay, Mr. Kailash mate. Can ITC in composition scheme? No, sir. If you adopt the composition scheme, you cannot claim ITC on that amount. Restaurant and lodge invoices we kept in separate Excel file through our own software. Can I import that? Yes, sir, you can import that. But first of all, you have to create a Excel format for that. If you have the Excel format, you can directly export your file in our software. Then what mechanism we are using for signing? Mr. Surya, please give me your contact number. I will get back to you after the session is over. And I explain you the whole scenario. Mr. Paul, your question is how to enter due amount after sales. Suppose you enter the sale, and if you want to change, if you want to change the due date, you can edit the due date. Let's see. Suppose all businesses work on this demo businesses. I select this business because there are so many invoices. Like I select the Gopal Trader invoices. You could see here that there is the option of edit. If I click on option of credit, edit, there is the option of due date. You can select or edit your due date. Fine, sir. Mr. Khanna, shall we have to pay for any updation in future? If you, sir, are you talking about our software cost? If you're talking about the software cost, then no. You need not pay any amount for that. Mr. Babura, your question, how to claim input tax credit on payment of URD purchase under the reverse charge mechanism? Okay. If you purchase from unregistered dealer, then you have to pay tax under the reverse charge mechanism, and you can claim ITC as well. Because as per the ITC rule, you can claim ITC when you pay tax on the reverse charge mechanism. Please show how to give my bank account detail one time and it will automatically pull all the sales voucher. Okay, Mr. Paul. Click on settings. Click on the respective GST number and go on the invoice setting. Click on that. From here, you can add the bank details. Like, let's say, I select the particular GST number. I select the account number, IFC code of that particular bank, bank name, branch name, and save it. Fine. It's up to you. It's up to you. You want bank details in sales voucher or bill of supply. If you want to give your bank detail in both of the invoice, you can click on both and save that. And give the any serial number which you want. Let's say I give the 00 only one and save it. Fine. And suppose I creating the invoice for that. Click on demo business, create sales invoice. Let's say layer furniture. Fine. When we enter the print, select and print. Please just 1 minute. Click on work on this sales invoice, because there is a no sales invoice. First of all, I want to create the sales invoice like 001. We already set the sequence. Let's say give number 1 and save it. And if I want to create the bank details, give the account number. Sorry, I think there is a network issue. ISC code, ICI bank. Fine, bank name and branch and sales invoice and save the bank details. Fine. And start work on this. Work on this, create the sales invoice. When I create the sales invoice, you could see here this serial numbers automatically get INV1 because I select there the INV1. Click on that, add the customer name, required state, let's say Goa, and save it. Suppose we enter the invoice, suppose we enter the new item description like let's say tire and HSN code of the tire 0013 4013 and select the selling price for that, let's say 10,000, and save it. When I save this invoice and click on print, you could see here without any address, it's cannot acceptable, pin code of that particular area, state, phone number, city, and save and print. You could see here, Mr. Rao, you could see here there is a bank detail. Fine. If you want to give bank detail, you can select the bank detail and you can print that invoice with the bank detail. I think you are clear now. Okay, Mr. Paul, are you clear now? Yes, sir. Mr. Mukherjee, your question is, can a single sales invoice denote goods and service both? Yes, sir, both, 100%. Mr. Chandunga, your question is, I have client in pharmacy, all the sales to patient, unregistered dealer only. We will enter all invoices compulsory. Sir, you have to create all the invoices, but at the time of filing of GSTR1, there is an option that if amount is less than 2.5 lakh, then you only have to give the summary detail of all the clients, not particular clients. This amount is 2,50,000, the monthly limit. Mr. Kailash, your question is this all done through offline software? Sir, first of all, this software, this is a clear text software basically based on cloud, like a Facebook. You can access anywhere and anytime with a one single user ID and password. But in the next month, we provide the offline utility also to you. From offline mode, you can create the invoices. Okay, Mr. Surya, I received your number. Thanks a lot. Mr. Paul, your question is if I receive the due amount after 3 months, where I enter the due amount. Sir, you already issue the sales receipt now. If I receive the due amount after 3 months. Sir, in this time you need not issue any invoice for that. Mr. Paul, are you clear? Mr. Bagura, your question is in which column ITC on RCM is to be entered in GSTR 1 or GSTR 3B? Sir, just give me 2 seconds. I'll show you. Mr. Babura. Okay, Mr. Renganath, your question is we are in SEZ. Okay, fine. What is the treatment of our sale to DTA units? Sir, if you are in a SEZ, you have to select, you want to create the export invoices. In our software, you easily create the export invoices. Please have a look here. Work on this. Sales invoice. Click on a quick action. From here, you can create your sales invoices like sales, create sales document. And if you want to create the export invoices, you can click on that and enter your sequence number, invoice sequence number. There is a mandatory field as per GST and as per the government. Select due date, shipping port code, shipping bill date, reference number, your customer name, add the customer name, contact number, place of supply, and there is a option from where you can select the export type. That's your deemed export, you are export under LUT bond, you are export under with IGST or export under SEZ. Suppose I select the SEZ. Add the item description, give the export currency and give the conversion rate on that date when you create your sales invoices. If you want to issue the goods to the DTA, in this time normal billing is made, normal sales invoice. Mr. Rang Mr. Renganath, if you supply the goods to SEZ, that would be covered under the 0% mechanism. You need not pay any tax on that. You could see here when I select the state in SEZ, fine. If I click the SEZ, rate would be automatically 0. Fine. Means in that scenario, you not need pay tax to the government if you supply goods to the SEZ. And if you pay tax on that in earlier GST regime, then you can claim the refund also. Mr. Paul, your question, please repeat the ITC system. Input tax credit mechanism. Fine. Mr. Paul, at the timing of filing GSTR2, there is an option to claim your ITC. Start now. Click on work on this. GSTR return. When you click on GSTR2, click on GSTR2. You could see here that there is an option of claim ITC. When you enter, when you click on ITC claim, from here you can select bulk of invoices and you could select percentage also. Let's say I want to claim ITC 100%. You can select 100%. You want to claim ITC 50%. You can select 50% and apply that. From this manner, you can From this manner, you can select the percentage and claim your ITC. Mr. Chattopadhyay ji, Mr. Mukherjee ji, what is the process to transfer advance receipt invoice into sales invoice? In this time, there is no connectivity between sales invoice and advance receipt invoice in our software, but within the next week, this feature would definitely come in our software, from where you can transfer your advance receipt and you can connect your advance receipt voucher to your text normal sales invoices. Fine, sir. Mr. KB Mate and Company, thank you, sir. Mr. Renganath, your question is, I am talking. Okay, I am talking about the IGST we pay while we clear from set to DTA. Yes, sir, you have to pay IGST on that, and you can claim ITC on that amount. Mr. Sharmunga Hospital, your question is, pharmacy sales more than 2.5 lakh unregistered patient. Will I submit all the invoices in compulsory with HSN code or not? How can it will do? It's more than 6,000 invoices per month. Sir, we have an option of export from your Excel data. Through your Excel, you can export all your data, all your sales invoices in our software, ClearText software. Mr. Renganath, your question is how to show the IGST paid in returns. Okay, sir. Please have a look here. Mr. Renganath, you could see here there is a total liability of IGST, total liability of CGST, total liability of SGST, and total liability of SEP. You can see here what is the amount due to the IGST with respect to SGST and CGST. Mr. Babura, your question is in which column ITC on RCM is be enter in GST 1 or GST 3B? Please, sir, have a look here. I enter the government side. Mr. Renganath, sorry, Mr. Babu Rao, you could see here that there is the eligible ITC. This is the form GSTR 3B, which available in the government portal. From here, you can enter the eligible ITC, import of goods, import of services, inward supply liable to reversal mechanism. Inward supply liable to reversal mechanism, you can enter that amount here also. Inward supply from ISD and other. Fine, sir. Mr. Shanmugam, your question is? Mr. Amul, your question is how many PC it will be supporting? Sir, 50. 15. This is the multi-user facility. And through 15 PCs, this will be supported. Mr. Shanmugam, your question, please show Excel format for pharmacy sales. Sir, we have the normal sales format in Excel. We don't have the Excel format for your particular industry, that is pharmaceutical industry. Please have a look. What is the Excel format of normal sales? Just give me 2 minutes. Mr. Renganath, no. Never. Because you already paid tax on that, no? What is the Excel format? Okay. Please have a look here. Okay, Mr. Babura, your question is if no purchase and no sales during any month, where to? You have to file nil return. Which form should be used? Sir, which form? GST or 3B? You have to file GST or 3B, na? For this month. Okay, friends. Because there are no any other more question. Thanks a lot.
All right, guys. I hope your questions were answered. If not, I'm dropping my email ID. Please write me all the questions to your email. I've shared my email ID. Please do give a feedback after this webinar. Please let us know how you feel about our trainings. I appreciate your time. Thanks a lot. Hope to look forward you associated with ClearTax. Thank you.